Hello everyone, it's Laffy Traffy. In this video, we'll be revisiting the Syrup Village arc, where the mighty god Usoppp has his debut. And if this is your first click on the series, I recommend you watch my videos starting from the beginning of the Romance Dawn arc of the series. I'm going episode by episode, so we're in for a long ride for sure. If you like what I'm doing and want to see future videos, subscribe, like the video, share your thoughts below. I also do weekly reactions and reviews on the One Piece manga, as well as stream various games on Twitch, so check that out as well. With all that out of the way, and if you're all caught up, let's dive right into the Syrup Village arc review of how well the manga was adapted into the anime. This arc includes episodes 9 through 17, correlating to manga chapters 23 through 41. So we see the crew find a mysterious island full of hybrid animals and a treasure and a man in a box and wait, they don't go to Gaimon's island until after Usoppp joins? But it shows them going right now in manga chapter 22. Chapter 21 was them leaving Orange Town with Nami, then they go to Gaimon's Island in 22, and then they go to Syrup Village arc in 23. Wait, really? Huh. Well, I guess we'll have to shelf that idea after this arc. Well, don't ask me why they did it. You know how the anime is. They just try to be different. Let's just skip on to chapter 23 then, with episode 9. The Honorable Liar, Captain Usoppp. When Usoppp confronts Luffy and the crew, the anime depicts him to be way, quote-unquote, scarier, as the Usoppp pirates try to help make it seem like there are a lot of fighters surrounding them. Usoppp even shoots at Luffy's feet and threatens Luffy, where then Luffy imitates Shanks, saying that guns aren't for threats, they're for action, and scares the shit out of Usoppp. Zoro and Luffy look really intimidating too, but then they just laugh it off once Usoppp is properly intimidated. That was all added in the anime though. In the manga, the Usoppp pirates run away pretty quickly after being intimidated by actual pirates, and Usoppp has to make his grand entrance by himself. In either case, Nami immediately knows that he's bullshitting with his thousands of men at his side. The anime comes right out and makes a connection to Usoppp and Luffy, by Luffy just automatically knowing that Usopp is Usopp's dad. I mean, this isn't totally unbelievable given their physical similarities. The manga doesn't reveal this information though until later on, as Luffy gets to know Usoppp and starts putting the clues together when Usoppp mentions that his dad is a great pirate. I think the manga gives more credit to Luffy actually using his brain, but it also lets the readers figure it out as well. The anime seemed like they just wanted to push the connection to Usoppp immediately so that I guess the audience has more reason to be invested in Usoppp as a character, and made that information immediately available for the audience, for the different form of media. This is especially noticeable because they add the scene of Luffy literally imitating Shanks. So in case you weren't clear, the anime spoon feeds the audience that Shanks and Usopp are like Luffy and Usoppp. Crazy. Instead of letting their relationship grow more naturally or organically. The anime really changes Usopp's reactions to the crew seeing Kaya. There's a huge dichotomy when, in the manga, Usoppp is the one to offer up the information for them to go seek out Kaya for a ship. He literally points out her house to them, then politely takes his leave off screen, off panel, to go visit Kaya. However, in the anime, Nami is the one who brings up the mansion on the hill and asks if that's a potential place to ask for a ship, to which Usoppp just freaks the hell out and yells at them to stay away from Kaya and runs off all dramatically. This leaves the crew, and the watcher, at least in my case, pretty confused at his outburst, and reasonably so. It definitely depicts him way more protective, but he seems to get along with Luffy right off the bat, so I don't know why he sees them as a danger to Kaya, or why the anime chose to depict it that way at least. Going to Usoppp at Kaya's house, he just sits on the ground outside her first-story bedroom window, but the anime actually does this scene better because Usoppp gets to show off a little bit of his acrobatic skills to climb up the tree to her second-story bedroom window. This also makes for a better layout of the shot with him up high in the tree rather than in the manga. Just a good place to tell stories. When the crew arrives to Kaya's mansion, Luffy just casually climbs over the fence to get onto the property, whereas in the anime, he rockets himself in a very Luffy fashion across the yard. And last, we get a sneak peek at Django at the end of the episode. Episode 10, The Weirdest Guy Ever, Django the Hypnotist. This is in the manga, where we get some clues that Usopp's father is a pirate. However, this is all kind of meaningless in the anime because it was already told that it's Usoppp, but it's still a nice scene when you think of it as development or learning more about Usopp's character in general. The only other difference in this episode is that they animate Kaya's backstory, specifically her father. He is a creepy, untalking specter in the anime, and it creeped me out, to be honest, especially with the undertone of tragedy that Kuro eventually murders him. I was not a fan of the style chosen here, but besides that little whatever that is, that's all for episode 10. I'm really glad that the differences in these episodes are less and less. Except for, this next one. Episode 11, Expose the Plot, Pirate Butler Captain Kuro. The confrontation between Usoppp and Kaya are staged fairly differently. The big difference I felt was the tone. It's certainly up to interpretation in the manga, but there's a lot of urgency and yelling from Usoppp, with confusion and disbelief from Kaya. She soon turns angry as she yells at him for lying and lashes out in heartbreak. This all can pass quickly depending on how you read it. The anime takes its time to draw out the conversation, but even right from the beginning, there is sad, slow music playing in the background. This is a little off-putting because it doesn't necessarily match Usopp's desperation and urgency, but then I guess you could look at it that the music really is for Kaya. The anime makes her more sad than mad, and that slow music emphasizes her feelings about how Usoppp could lie about something so important. They also cut away to Luffy on the beach with the Usoppp pirates, so that kind of cuts through the emotional tone of Usoppp and Kaya's interaction in the anime. Although the tone works in the anime for the beginning mostly, it soon does become pretty weird when Usoppp starts fighting and trying to take Kaya away by force in desperation. There should definitely be more fast-paced music for the high stakes. I mean, he's fighting off the butlers, he's getting shot at, but instead, it's just ambient, relaxed music. In this case, it doesn't help convey the tone very well. Even later on in the episode, there's conflicting messages, as Usoppp, I'm assuming, looks happy at his memories with Kaya, because he has the memory of the goldfish, but then realizes he's sad and looks sad. It looks really weird, I don't know. And the Usoppp pirates are more upset when Usoppp says that he lied about Clawhador being a pirate in the manga. The anime has them laugh a lot, which is like whiplash, because then the next frame they're really mad. Overall, I'd say that the episode really didn't do a very good job conveying the tone that I at least gathered from the manga. The anime really undermines the importance of these moments for Usoppp. But anyway, on to episode 12. Clash with the Black Cat Pirates, the Great Battle on the Slope. Overall, this episode was actually really good with staying consistent with the anime. Holy shit, what the hell is episode 13? The Terrifying Duo, Meow Band Brothers vs. Zoro. This episode rearranged a few events like Kaya's nightmare, the Usoppp pirates, and whatever Creepador is doing, but I don't see any real impact to the story or the tone for that choice. However, a surprising change is that the anime actually got rid of a lot of excess commentary from Nami and Usoppp about what Zoro is doing and what's happening as he fights the Meow Band brothers. This is certainly a step in the right direction, because a lot of anime tend to overanalyze or over-explain attacks or concepts or thoughts behind the attacks and what's going on, what are they thinking, blah, I don't know. I don't really like that. I mean, I get that these are shonen and they're intended for younger audiences, but I don't think it's necessary to spoon feed the audience like they're 5. Episode 14, Luffy back in action, Miss Kaya's desperate resistance. We haven't seen a lot of major differences in the last few episodes, but this one has another instance of major censorship. This is where Luffy, after being hypnotized, gets woken up by Nami. Django throws one of his bladed discs and throws it at the back of Nami's head. Nami manages to step on Luffy and wake him up before getting hit, causing him to sit up right in the way of the blade. In the anime, Nami falls out of the way so that the disc hits Luffy in the face, but it shows him catching it in his mouth. Similar to how he caught Buggy's knife in Orangetown, the blade gives him little cuts on the corner of his mouth, which really pisses him off. Now, only looking at the anime, this scene is really funny because Luffy gets super angry about a very small injury, as well as makes him look pretty cool for catching the attack. But then we go to the manga. After Nami wakes him up, he stands up so that his back is facing the attack, and it hits him right solid in the back of the head. Blood is spewing out as that thing is lodged in his head. Call me squeamish, but that made me cringe at how that must have hurt. That thing's in deep.
That's what she said.
And what's worse, Luffy rips the disc out himself from his head and blood splatters everywhere again. God, he is metal, let me just say. This is much more understandable when he screams out in pain and gets pissed. I mean, looking at the blood and just the injury in general, there's really no questioning why the anime, the way that it is, censored this scene. It is pretty crazy. Now, when Kaya shows up, the anime adds this really unnecessarily dramatic scene where Kuro is spooked by Kaya and lashes out at her, where then Usoppp dives in and takes the attack to save her. I guess that's cool, but in the manga, she just shouts for Creepador to stop. And in the manga, she drops the gun as she starts crying, whereas Creepador takes it from her in the anime. But then the anime has Usoppp grab the gun and shoot at Creepador, which he dodges. I mean, that's a pretty close range attack to dodge a sniper, but we'll just say he's, he does the fast as fuck feet boy. They used his kitty cat tiptoes to get out of the way, whatever. In the manga, Usoppp just runs up and tries to punch him. Episode 15. Beat Kuro, Usoppp the man's tearful resolve. Starting the fight between Luffy and Kuro, we get to see Kuro's backstory on how he faked his death. You can't really tell unless you know what you're looking for, at least I didn't, but Kuro defeated Captain Morgan's ship and was the one who broke his jaw. You can clearly see the familiar face in the manga, but in the anime you might not catch this. Besides that, this episode and the next few wrapping up Syrup Village don't really have any big differences in them. Episode 16, Protect Kaya, the Usoppp Pirates' Great Efforts. The anime added some attacks here to make the Usoppp Pirates look cooler and land more attacks on Django, as well as they jumble some events, but that didn't change too much. Episode 17, Anger Explosion, Kuro vs. Luffy, How It Ends. Luffy defeats Kuro with a good old gum gum bell as the arc comes to a close. There was a cute little wrap-up scene in the manga, not shown in the anime, where the Usoppp Pirates go back to their respective homes with their parents, none the wiser, and they only mention that they have their dirty clothes, a missing frying pan, and broken glasses. Just a nice little closure for the kids' story. But that wraps up the Syrup Village arc as Usoppp gathers his things and his courage to set out to sea, and the Straw Hat Pirates celebrate another member of the crew. I will say that it took me a while to really appreciate Usopp's character, and I'm talking like Dressrosa while, but looking back at the beginning and how far he's come since this arc is really impressive. But the next arc in the next video is the Baratie arc. There are a lot of important moments in this next arc that I'm excited to review with you all. Oh, and Gaimon's Island, of course. I mean, a lot of people say that the Baratie arc is where One Piece really starts getting good, but we all know it's Gaimon. So he will be first in line for the next video. Please like this video and subscribe and check out my Twitch and Twitter, all that good stuff. It really helps up and I appreciate it. If you made it this far, let me know in the comments what your first impressions of Usoppp were. And compared to how you think about his character now, to wherever you're caught up to. I personally think Usoppp gets a little bit too much shit, but where he is now, I think his character is pretty awesome, and there's a lot of potential there. Anyway, have a great day, follow your dreams, and check me next time. Bye!